All right, good morning, everyone. We're going to get rolling here. Welcome to our administrative public meeting on today, Thursday, September 30th. Is this the last day of the month?
I believe so.
It is, the last day of September 2021.
A gorgeous day.
It is a beautiful day. As folks on the line probably understand, we are going all virtual, with the exception of the three of us congregated in room 206 in the admin building, socially distanced and masked, as it were. So anyway, let's just roll right on into this. Is there any public? Well, first off, Violet, are you out there?
I am. Yeah, I'll do the roll call really fast.
Okay, that would be fantastic. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. We have myself, Violet Plummer, Adrian Beck, Allison Franz, Ann Hughes, Chris Lonsberry, Commissioner Strohmeyer, Emmy Bristow, Jamar Galbraith, John Hart, Kylo Leonard, Lisa Biskevich, Sarah Bell, Connor McCauley, Martin Kidston, MCAT, and Commissioners Vero and Slotnick as well. Did I miss anybody? Okay, back to you guys.
Thanks, Violet. And for anyone who's wondering, we are going back to virtual given the state of affairs with the COVID-19 pandemic in Missoula County, which is not good. So folks, continue to mask up, socially distance, wash your hands, get vaccinated, all those good things. All right, any public comment on items not on today's agenda? Seeing none, let us dive right in. Our first item appears to be brought to us by Emily Brock today. This is a request to authorize the chair to sign an MOU with the Missoula Redevelopment Agency. Emily. How about Chris Lonsberry?
Sure. Good morning, Commissioners. So this is a request to sign an MOU with the city's redevelopment agency. As you know, we've been working closely with them on the election center building for some tax increment financing from MRA to help cover things like improved landscaping around the building, as well as ADA access and some modifications to the election center building. And so this MOU is the first step in that process towards reimbursement for some of the work that's already been done and some of the future work that will be done at those buildings.
And I believe I just saw a unicorn run behind you.
In this case, it's no unicorn. It's my son's soccer team with a rainbow over it.
Okay.
That's a wonderful picture.
All right. Any questions on this?
No, I move that the board or the chair sign the MOU with MRA.
Second that.
Any further discussion or public comment? Was that Andrew out there wanting to chime in?
No comment. Just
okay. Your name was flickering there, so you were thinking. Okay, no comment on this. Let's go ahead and vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we are holding the second item, not taking that up today, but we'll take it up at a separate meeting. On to item 3, Adrian Beck. Hopefully this will be the end of the messages I get on a daily basis regarding this item. Talk to us about Rave Mobile Safety Smart 911.
Yeah, I hope this stops the incessant DocuSign emails. But so what you have before you is a service agreement for a 5-year term for Rave Mobile Safety, more specifically Smart 911. As the commission will likely recall, we've had Smart 911 in Missoula County, offering it to our citizens for quite some time. This particular software enables our visitors and residents alike to create safety profiles that are unique to them, which enables a communication transfer with the 911 center when any of those registered phones within that safety profile call 911 in Missoula County. And it allows that transfer of information that can be life-saving. In many cases, it allows for people to identify as needing American Sign Language to communicate, or other languages, but also known medical histories, those types of things. And more importantly, it also is a way for our residents and visitors to be able to voluntarily register to receive emergency alerts. we can always force alerts onto phones for incidences that are truly life-threatening. But when we have a situation occurring in a neighborhood, it allows us to geo-target those alerts to people who have registered for them.
All right, thanks, Lisa. And I just saw Emily Brock out there. Sorry, you're too late, Emily. We took care of your items already, so we are moving on. You're free to join us though for the balance of the meeting if you would like.
So we just put off number 2 and number 1 is,
Yep.
it got the big thumbs up.
We already took action on that. Thanks. Back to Adrian.
Can I ask Adrian a question?
So-
No,
Wait, I'm sorry.
absolutely.
Did you say that you put off number 2?
We did.
What does that
We
mean?
were told to pull number 2.
We were told to pull number 2.
You can. Why don't
Which one
you
was
tie
that?
in with Chris to discuss what's going on there?
Which one was that?
Yeah.
Which one was
Number. So
Rocky Mountain.
Okay.
Yeah, with Jackson.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pulled from the agenda for today. So tie in with Chris for any backstory there. We just pull what we were told to pull. So, and we did take action on item 1 and passed that. So, which was the MRA piece, if you were wondering. Back to Adrian.
Yeah,
Josh, question.
Thanks. Adrian, what sort of participation have we had in Smart 911?
You know, nationally, most communities see anywhere from 10 to 15% of people, voluntarily signing up for emergency alerts. We've been pretty fortunate here in Missoula County. Our numbers are higher in the 30%. Obviously, we tend to see increased registration in Smart 911 when we have something big going on, wildfires, floods, so that the affected public can know that they can receive those emergency alerts. It's often how we broadcast evacuation warnings and evacuation notices, because they tend to be so hyper located that they don't necessarily rise to the level of a forced alert, kind of like an Amber Alert, though we do have that capability as well.
So,
Don't keep
a little
going.
follow-up. So given that we're here in this public space and, we're going to do this, this is a really good thing. Could you describe for anybody listening in how they could sign up for Smart 911?
So
You bet. So they can just type into Google smart911.com. It will recognize as soon as they put in their address that they are within Missoula County, and it will take them to our landing page. But also off of the Missoula County website is an opportunity to navigate to that directly as well.
So is there more that we can do to push this out to the public? More that maybe our
comms team.
our fine communications staff who just happen to be on the line here could. Yeah, they're leaping into action.
Posting about it on social media, and that kind of fell off the wayside with COVID, but we can get back to making sure we're putting that out there.
Yeah, and Nick Holloway from our office is a tireless champion of trying to get folks signed up into Smart 911, and he does lots of community presentations, neighborhood councils, but the work never ends, and so we're committed to continue the campaign and leaning on the communications folks to keep getting it out there in front of people.
So maybe at our next all community council meeting, if not Adrian, maybe you could anoint someone and send them, and they could give this brief description.
You bet.
We
Happy to.
talked,
Thank you.
I think Nick's done some presentations to them in the past. But
We'll
It
have
won't-
Nick
it
come.
won't-
We can have Nick come and say this is how.
yep,
you sign up.
won't hurt to.
We'll
do it
keep
again.
doing it.
Yeah.
Very good.
Great, thank
any
you.
other questions?
No, I would move that we authorize the chair to sign a 5-year software and service agreement for Smart 911.
Second.
Further discussion or public comment or questions from the media? Seeing none, let's go ahead and vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thanks, Adrian.
Thank
All
you.
right, Lisa Biskevich, you're up with contract with, regarding Buckle Up
I
Montana.
have to say, I do not often see Lisa and MDT in the same sentence.
I know, that caught my attention too.
Yeah.
But only with Buckle Up.
Yeah, is Shane Stack gonna come talk to us about the social determinants of health?
Yeah.
Everything's upside down, Lisa.
Traffic safety's in the bucket, so we want everybody to be safe and buckled up in their cars, right? You know, so this is our annual contract with MDT that supports our Buckle Up Coalition. And if you all recall, Steve Schmidt is our fearless leader and talented staff member who is very savvy with technology, that he has set up Drive Safe Missoula. I would encourage you all to visit the website. That's where he's doing the health promotion around Buckle Up Coalition and about buckling up safely, how parents and grandparents can get free car safety seats. He was at the fair this year and did an amazing event with the Respect the Cage with the sheriff's office and with a number of different like Judge Beal was out there, some municipal judges were out there just to talk about the importance of buckling up and how it can save your life, essentially, and really does a very beautiful job in promoting safety and awareness around buckling up in our community, and is a great resource for our community. And then also Steve works with, and you'll see the scope of work, which I think is on page 16 of the contract, which really spells out the deliverables in our community, but he sits on the National Highway Traffic Safety Committee to really think about the comprehensive plan with the state as well. So he's very tied in tune with policies that go around with seatbelt laws, as well as how to teach people to fit their kids safely into car seats. So, and then he was out this week counting seatbelts, how many people were buckled up at different traffic lights throughout Missoula. So we'll have that report out in the next probably month. So when he puts that all together.
Thanks, Lisa. This is a great program. I will say in 2014, I was in a rollover accident with my son up by Placid Lake, and wearing a seatbelt is probably the only reason that I am here sitting in this room today. So it makes a difference.
Yes, 100%. Thank you for sharing that story. Super important. And he does a lot of media and outreach too to tell that message. And you told your message too, Commissioner Strohmeyer, and I really appreciate that.
All right.
I move that the board approve and chair assign the MDT contract with Missoula City County Health Department.
Second that.
Further discussion or comment? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thanks, Lisa.
Thanks,
Thank
Lisa.
Thank you. Have a great day, everyone.
You
Next
too.
time we'll talk paving.
All right, Chris, talk to us about a standard employment agreement.
Yeah, so this is a standard PHC employment agreement with a physician's assistant and an intermittent on-call role, which means they fill in as needed at Partnership. Again, just as a reminder for folks, Partnership Health Center is our federally qualified health center here in Missoula. It's attached to Missoula County. However, it is not funded with property tax dollars. It's funded by a federal grant and then by a sliding fee scale, as well as private insurance from their clients. So no tax dollars or property tax dollars go towards Partnership Health Center. So this is a physician's assistant agreement for that intermittent on-call role with a new provider at Partnership.
Great.
I would move to keep Molly Quinn employed.
Second that.
Further discussion or comment on this item? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Chris, it's you again. Bring us up to speed on ARPA.
It is. So, Commissioners, what you have today before you is a resolution of intent to adopt the ARPA budget. You'll recall we've had 2 public hearings on the proposed ARPA budget on the 16th of September and on the 23rd. I think I'm getting those dates right, but Allison or Violet can correct me if I've got those dates wrong. But you've had 2 hearings on this, and so you have a resolution of intent to adopt. So we do need to modify the motion just a little bit to say resolution of intent. And then Andrew and Michelle will have direction under this then to create the appropriate budget coding so that we can track that and accurately report it as part of Arpa. You'll recall there's a specific federal reporting requirement as well for that funding. Just a brief recap here. Again, we're spending funding in the area of the public health emergency response, as well as some issues around housing, homelessness, and some other initiatives in the mental health space, all designed to address some of the challenges that have come out of the COVID pandemic.
Great. Questions, comments? This is a big deal.
Yeah, the only comment was, here we are approving this. This is the exclamation mark on 5 paragraphs worth of work. I'm going to use that written word metaphor. Tons of effort by lots of people have gone into making these decisions, and Chris himself has done a ton of research. We've talked about it a lot. So this is the last step of a whole long process.
Is it really the last step, Chris?
Is there ever a last step?
No. Yeah.
This is local government. No last steps.
Okay. The first next step.
This is what merely the intent.
So this is the resolution of intent. As you'll recall, when you adopted your budget, you gave Andrew authority for additional revenues that came in to be able to create the coding as long as there was an intent for those. And so it's just a resolution of intent, even though this will allow Andrew to formally adopt this into our budget through that other process you already authorized.
Then it's in our budget.
It is in our budget at that point.
Great.
Okay, what do you think?
Do this.
Yeah, I would move that the board adopt the ARPA budget resolution.
Of intent.
Of intent, thank you.
And the coding.
And whatever else goes along with it.
Second.
Okay, further discussion or public comment or questions from the media?
Yeah,
Martin Kidston.
I couldn't let you go without asking you a question. Last week, when you detailed how you were going to distribute the ARPA funding, and you outlined all the categories and gave funding amounts, one of those funding amounts was $1.5 million for the county's housing initiatives. And you didn't really detail what housing initiative meant. And I'm just wondering what you have up your sleeve when it comes to housing initiatives.
So Martin, sure, happy to help with that. So these are the issues to address the housing and homelessness crisis that we're experiencing in Missoula. So this includes the, what I'm referring to, I'm using the acronym ACE for, which is the authorized campsite. That's the first one of those. And then, as you know, we continue to work on the temporary safe outdoor space and finding it a location that is more suitable and sustainable for that program. So those are 2 of those. That will include some additional services to help support those, including a mobile care team, which we're fortunate to be partnering with a lot of nonprofits here in Missoula, including Hope Rescue Mission, as well as the United Way, and also with our federally qualified health center, Partnership Health Center, to be able to provide services at those. So those are a couple of the things that are in that category.
Okay, and just a quick follow-up. This is one-time funding, if I understand it. I've asked the city the same thing. What does the county plan to do when the funding expires 3 or 4 years down the road and you want to maintain these programs?
Can I speak to that?
Commissioner Slotnick would like to speak to that.
So Martin, we've never done this before, so we're going to learn a lot as we go, and hopefully we will figure out what things we should keep and what things we shouldn't keep, and then we'll know how much money we need or don't need and can begin looking for funding right then. We're excited about doing this in large degree because of the issues with people camping in places where they're not supposed to camp. And by creating alternatives for folks, we can get them better services and simultaneously make sure people don't camp where they're not supposed to camp. We can actually do enforcement. And I'm personally hoping that when people see the results of enforcement, they'll be willing to support efforts in the future.
I would just add that it's a bit of a scenario of building the plane while we are flying it, in that we have some acute issues to address like right now, and we have funding to jump on that. That's going to, I think, make a significant and and hopefully transformative change in our community.
And then bridge because Trinity will be coming online and Villaggio will be coming online.
Yeah,
this is a bridge to.
That's a really good point.
So do we have all of the details and out years figured out? No, but this is going to make a huge difference right now, and I think set us up for success to determine what those subsequent steps will be.
And as you guys both made really good points here, the one I want to speak to is this acute need. This acute need has to be addressed right now. We've reached a level of no more tolerance for people camping in areas where they're not supposed to be. And we have to deal with that. And over the next couple of years, as you said, we're going to see Villaggio, we're going to see Trinity, we'll see more tools to work with than we have right now. So we're going to take action because action is what is needed.
Chris, I think we cut you off.
Chris, you were jumping in to correct something that we got erroneously.
You got it wrong.
You absolutely did not get it wrong. I was actually going to make the same point that Juanita made, and so I'll just say it one more time, which is this is that bridge to get us towards Trinity and other projects coming online. And the other piece I always want to throw in there is, we have a fantastic partner in the Poverello Center, which has done amazing work in our community for a number of years and has been dramatically impacted by the pandemic with having to reduce their capacity by 50% in order to stay inside CDC guidelines. And so that is part of what's driving this. And so these are tools designed, as Josh pointed out, to get us quickly responding, and Dave pointed out, quickly responding to the immediate needs of the community, with the hope that some of these longer term tools will come online and help relieve some of that pressure and help us determine what are the other pieces that are missing from our system long term. So I think you all said it exactly right.
And one last thing, and this comes up again and again ad nauseum, and that is being the paralysis over fear of build it and they will come. Well, the reality is they are here. There are unhoused folks in our community, friends and neighbors and people who we don't know that are here already. So we have to address that acute need and not simply wring our hands that if we do anything to help this acute need, it's just going to perpetuate a problem. So
another one we hear is, oh, you should just buy bus tickets and get these people out of here. And impoverished, without homes or not, all human beings have these same constitutional rights, and we cannot and would not strip someone of their liberties and forcibly send them somewhere against their will. That's just not how we would act.
Thank you.
Does that get to your question, Martin?
Yes, it does. Thanks for your time.
You bet. Any other public comment on this item? All right, seeing none, let's go ahead and vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Did we just prove through our comments that the three of us are 47% of Chris? I think that's what we did.
I think it's 147%, but
yeah. Okay. Any correspondence, items for discussion, upcoming events, anything else that we need to cover right now? Okay. Seeing none, we will be adjourned. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Great.